So, hello everyone and welcome back to another attempt to sort out my new and hopefully much improved camera setup. So, this is the third ride out now. I'm trying to get this sorted. Don't get me wrong, I've had some success. It's just not been quite as straightforward as I'd hoped. I've managed to get a good angle. I'm really pleased with some of the footage. Definitely shows steepness of trails much better, and you can also see the exposure at the side of the trails much better. You can see my handlebars, you can see the bike moving, and in lots of scenarios fisheye effect isn't too bad. However, when it's really sort of open terrain, there's a little bit too much fisheye for my liking. And the other thing is I've been getting a really nasty sound on my footage on the GoPro 13. I've had a mess around at home. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's the peak moving, so I put a load of tape in there, put some foam in there as well, try to deaden that noise. So I'm going to go out, see if we've got rid of the sound and see if we can actually get some nice chesty footage. Oh yes, before we get to the top, there is one other small thing I forgot to mention, and that is I am not entirely convinced that being able to see the camera at the top of my vision isn't really distracting. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but after the winter break I'm feeling quite fat and very unfit, especially out on the enduro bike today, which is a bit of a pig to climb. Anyway, here we are, top of the trail, so let's go and get some good footage and we can see how this setup is working. Don't forget that, very important. It's definitely borderline annoying in my field of view. If you saw in my last video, I got a mount specially moulded to fit underneath this visor. However, it hasn't completely solved the problem, even though it's pretty low profile. The advantage of having the GoPro 13 on the chesty is I can now use, you can see it there, the magnetic mount, which means it's much easier to take it on and off, It's just a pity I don't do the same thing for the GoPro 10. Oh, I can still feel the chesty moving around on my chest, but I can't get it any tighter. I think it's quite clear that the only way this is going to work is if I buy a new chesty that isn't all stretched out and loose. Before we get onto that though, we've still got the small problem of the camera hindering my view and that damn noise. This time I've transferred the mount to my old enduro helmet, got it under the visor, and there's just more space, which means I can't see the camera at all. And while that definitely is a step forward, it hasn't solved my noise problem. At least I now know that it must be coming either from the camera itself or from the mount. And the other advantage of using a helmet with a removable chin guard is, for one, I can go back to chin mount, which is exactly what I'm trying right now. And as it turns out, it's a pretty good option to have. Perhaps I was a little bit hasty and retiring my old helmet. So, as I'm sure you've just heard, that rattling noise is still there even when I mount the camera to the old Bell Super Air that I've got on at the moment. I've done some experimenting at home. I think it might just be down to me not having tightened the bolt up that holds the GoPro in the mount sufficiently. So today I've come out with a screwdriver, make sure that bolt's nice and tight, and I hope that we can finally get rid of that sound. Another thing you'll notice is that I'm still out with my old Bell Super Air. And the reason is, no matter how much I tried to convince myself it wasn't annoying me, the fact that I could see the camera in my field of view has just also become a non-starter. Anyway, first things first, let's get top of the trail and take a look at the angle on the GoPro, see if it's okay. Yeah, I think I need to aim it down just a fraction. Again, the handlebars disappearing off the bottom of the screen. That's not what I want ideally. So we'll try this trail with it angled down a little bit more. Hopefully that'll do the trick. All right, so I am desperately hoping that cranking that mounting bolt down with a screwdriver is going to solve this rattling issue, because otherwise it's an external mic or a second GoPro. I want to make sure I'm going to get some decent sound. So that looks like it could have been successful. I'm really happy with the angle there. Bars right at the bottom of the screen all the time. I'm not really losing them off the bottom, even on the flat sections. So I'm going to mark the position with some Tipp-Ex, so the next time I can just slot the camera in straight away, no problems at all. And from what I can tell from the app, the rattle seems to have gone. We're going to try putting the GoPro 10 on the chin mount and with the GoPro 13 under the visor for the ultimate enduro filming setup. Right, got all the cameras. GoPro 13 under the peak, GoPro 10 on the chin mount. I guess it feels a little bit heavy, but doesn't feel too bad. Just going to see what the results look like. So far so good. Feels comfortable, doesn't feel like he's moving. It's not my field of view. Winner win the chicken dinner, I hope. Well, if this footage is good, I think this trail has probably convinced me the direction I need to go. So if anybody's looking for a barely used, never crashed Fox Drop Frame Pro size XL, make sure you get in touch. I will be doing a very good price. So yeah, I didn't need to worry about the helmet being too heavy or feeling uncomfortable. I've just ridden, what was it, 200 meter ascent with the helmet on, with both these cameras on, and it was perfectly comfortable. wonder what this looks like, because this is also a ridgeline trail. I get a feeling that this camera shows those particularly well.
Well, I'm convinced, and I think I'm ready to make my first full video with this new setup on my upcoming trip to the spiritual home of enduro mountain biking, Finale Ligure. So, if you want to check that out, please make sure to tune in next time. In the meantime though, thanks for coming along, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.